Welcome to today's video where we'll be discussing how to get brand registered on Amazon. And we'll be covering what are the benefits of being brand registered, what are the requirements, and of course, the step-by-step process of actually registering your brand on Amazon. And I'll also be sharing 2 quick tips that might help you save some time and money during this process. But before we get to it, do not forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. And without further ado, let's get to it. So the first benefit is actually you get access to this brand dashboard where you can see what you, for example, the brand health, your brand health, and get some suggestions on how to improve your brand health in terms of stock, in terms of price and competition. And also you can see some other brand benefits here. So we already talked about the brand dashboard. You also get access to the A+ content. And if you don't know what that is, right here you can see that when you brand registered, for your description, instead of only having access to that blank boring text, here you can see you get access to this whole section where you can play with images and text and even videos as well. And it's completely free when you have your brand registered. And especially now where Amazon is really cracking down on HTML descriptions, where they're not allowing that at all for you to be able, to bold certain things on the description. This is becoming more important than ever before. It really increases your conversion rates and sales. And we actually already have a video here on the channel talking all about A+ content. So I'll be sure to leave that in the description below. But that's a huge benefit of being brand registered, as well as a few other things where you can A/B test images, your titles, your A+ content. You can have different versions and see what converts best, what actually brings more profit. So that's also a free benefit that you get. You can also upload videos in the image section. And if we go back, I'll show you right here. If you go up, you can see that you can see all of the images of this product. And then they actually have 5 videos that you can play. And in e-commerce, in the e-commerce world, videos are huge, really, really great to increase the number of sales and conversions when someone's actually on your product page. You also get access to a few different types of advertising that you don't have access to if you're not brand registered. So for example, sponsor brands, sponsored display ads, and I'll show you a few examples. So here I just typed in vitamin C serum, and you can see this right here, this headline search ad. That's one example of an ad that is only available for registered brands. And if I scroll down here, there's also video ads, as you can see over here. Or in the product itself, the product page itself, you can see that this one right here, this ad, this location of the ad, or right here, these are only available for brands that are registered. You also have access to stores, which is huge, especially if you don't have your own website, for example. You can see here that on this product page, you can visit Neutrogena's store, and you really have freedom to have this whole organization, a little bit more space to talk about your brand, to have these bigger banners. You can use videos, you can separate these by departments, depending on the types of products that you sell. So huge benefit, especially as you start to expand your brand. And a few other things like brand analytics and special feedback on how you're doing, Amazon attribution, Amazon Live. You can actually be streaming on Amazon, talking about your product or whatever strategy that you have to increase that brand recognition, to increase sales, of course. There's customer reviews, which is huge. You can actually reply to customer reviews that are 3 stars or less when you are brand registered. Vine also is a great program that there is a cost to it right now. Actually, they just changed. It used to be free, but now you actually have to pay, but it's still a great program that you can actually get a boost in reviews when you're launching your products. Also, programs like Subscribe and Save, virtual bundles, and many other things like Amazon Posts, which we also have a video here on the channel if you're interested. Sumner just posted recently of an update. He actually went back to analyze how well our posts were doing. So if you are interested in that video, I'm also going to leave it in the description below. But yes, I did not want to spend too much time covering all of the different benefits. I'm assuming that if you're here to watch this video, you already know that you want to get brand registered. So let's go ahead and talk about the requirements to get your brand registered. So if you're here on brandservices.amazon.com, which I'll also leave in the description below, here you're going to see a few more benefits like protecting your brand through a few programs, as well as what we've already covered, like A+ content and other things. So some of the benefits. And if you click here on Get Started, you're going to see this list of requirements. So first, you must have a trademark. You cannot register your brand if you don't have a trademark. Now, the good news is that Amazon accepts trademarks from a list of a few different countries, and it's all listed right here. And they also accept both kinds of trademarks, a text-based trademark or a image-based, like your logo, as you see here, the two different examples. And if you keep scrolling down, you're going to see that to enroll your brand, what you're going to need is your brand name, obviously that matches that trademark. And that brand name, as it says here, it must appear on your products or packaging. So this is a must. You're going to have to prove that. You're going to need actual photos, not screenshots, nothing photoshopped, actual photos of the product and or product packaging with that brand name on it. And you're going to need the registration number, obviously, and a list of the categories that you want to sell in with that brand. So once you have that, all you need to do is click on Get Started, which we're going to start soon. Let's just talk about trademark first. So you can file for trademark yourself at the USPTO website, which I'll also leave in the description below. You can apply on your own, but honestly, it is a tedious process. It is time consuming, and honestly, we did not do it ourselves. We hired someone to file this trademark for us because honestly, it was not worth our time. But if you want to do it yourself, here's the page that you need to access to, and the link will be in the description below. But just know that you need to have your trademark with the USPTO website if you're going with the USA trademark. As I mentioned here before, you can also use any of these other offices like Brazil, Canada, Mexico, Australia. And I've definitely heard of sellers going on that route because maybe the process is a little bit faster or it's cheaper or anything like that. And you're welcome to do the same because as you see, they do accept it. But for us, we wanted to keep everything within the same country, the trademark, because it is the biggest market that we sell in and we want that trademark protection. That is the whole point actually of getting trademarked, is not just for brand registration, it is to actually have that protection within that government. So we chose to do with the United States, and for that you need to apply with the USPTO. And as I said, we did not do it ourselves. We actually hired Trademark Angel to do this for us. We looked into a few different options, and we've heard of people who hired, for example, people on Fiverr or other companies, but ultimately we liked Trademark Angel the most. They've already done a couple of brands for us. We're in the process of trademarking another one. So we have not had a problem with them. And right here you can see their prices. They are also able to file trademarks for all of these different countries if you choose to do so, not just the US. So these are their prices, and I'll actually recommend for you to wait until you get your analysis back, because actually with Trademark Angel, you can request a free trademark search. So you can tell them the brand that you want to trademark and the category and the class, actually, that's what it's called. And they're going to do a quick search to see if there are any potential issues, if maybe they think it might not be approved for some reason or another. So depending on what they get back to you during that search, you might want to choose one package over the other, because this one, for example, includes the reporting and responding to objections that they might find along the way when they're filing the trademark. And then you can just go through and see what everything's included. But before you actually file your trademark, I would suggest you to follow this process. So first, choose the brand that you want to use. For example, Hobart Products. Choose your brand and have Trademark Angel, or you yourself could do a little research on maybe some problems that you might have with that brand name. Maybe it's already in use, maybe it's already trademarked by someone else, or you can have Trademark Angel do that for you and see if there will be any problems with that brand. And once you decided on the brand, go ahead and brand your products. Add that brand to the product or the packaging itself, like they are going to require, and start production. Then start selling those products. Even though you might be eager to start the trademark process right away, even before you start selling, because it could take a while, I would suggest that you start selling, because it is a little bit cheaper to file a trademark if the product is already in use. If you actually file a trademark with intent to use, you do have to pay a fee. And I would actually say that it's easier to be approved if you actually have a history of sales already in place. You will have to provide Trademark Angel, or if you're doing it yourself, you will have to provide proof of sales, like an order number. We just had to do a screenshot of the Amazon order details with customer details and everything. So start selling your product, then you start the trademark process, you file for a trademark, and then you register your brand on Amazon. And here's another good news, is that you can actually, depending on the country that you started the trademark with, Amazon Brand Registry actually accepts pending trademarks. So when you file that trademark, you're going to receive a number, and you can actually go ahead and use that number to do your brand registration, which I'm going to show you guys right now. So back here at Amazon Brand Services, once you've gone through all of the requirements that we've already covered to register your brand, you can go ahead and click on Enroll Now. And here you're going to choose the country where you have filed your trademark for. So in this case, for example, our case, if it was the United States, you would choose the US. So for us, even though we already have a registered brand, we can enroll more brands if we want. And if you don't have any of them, you would see the same link over here, the Enroll a New Brand, and just click on it. Then it's going to reinstate the requirements, the trademark number, the images that I told you that you need images of your products with that brand on it or on the package. If you're a vendor and with Amazon, then you need to provide a vendor code. But if you're if you use Seller Central, then you're good to go. You don't need that. Then a sample of the ASINs that are going to have that brand. So just have that on hand, because you're just going to have to copy and paste all of the ASINs of the products that you want to be associated with that brand. And lastly, the information on the countries where you're going to distribute your products. So where you're planning on selling those products. So you can go ahead and click on Enroll Your Brand. And after you've enrolled, you can go back to this page and see here, Manage Your Application. So if you've already had applications that you've created, then in this page, you'll be able to actually manage them. But here we can go ahead and click on Enroll Your Brand. Okay, so here you would start with the brand name. So let's say, for example, Hobart Products. Then the office that you have applied for a trademark, and below the serial number or registration number. So again, if you have already filed, you can actually use the registration number that they gave you, even though your application is still pending. You can still put it here and click on Verify. And you'll also see that if you choose a different country, for example, Canada, maybe the requirements below are a little bit different. For example, let's say India, you need to might have to answer a few different questions. So for us, we're going to do based on the US. So going back to USA, then I'm just going to paste here a random number. And here you can provide a URL of your own website with that brand. If you sell anywhere else, if you have your own domain, I would highly recommend, if you do have that, it definitely increases your chances of being approved faster. But it is optional. You don't have to submit that URL. And also, if you sell in any other e-commerce websites like Etsy, Walmart, or eBay, or anything like that, you can add them here. You can just do one by one and click add more if you choose to do so, but it's also optional. I would recommend that if you do sell it, definitely add it here. And then lastly, you're going to have to provide product images. As I said, the product images need to be real. Do not have any manipulation, photoshopped, anything on the images. And be sure, of course, that your brand is shown on the images. So I'll just go ahead and upload a random image, and I'm gonna go ahead and click next. And now you just have to provide some information about your seller account. So you have to say if you're a seller or a vendor. I would say that you most likely, if you're watching this video, you're an Amazon seller. Next, you're going to choose which selling accounts you're actually going to be enrolling this brand to. So if you're selling across several marketplaces, like in Europe or Japan or anywhere else, you can choose all of them or just a few of them to actually have this brand being a part of that selling account. So for example, in this case, I'm just going to say select all and scroll down. Next, you're going to have to select the list of categories that you want to sell in. So in this example, I'm just going to add beauty. And lastly, the list of ASINs that you want to associate with that brand. So just add as many ASINs as you want, and make sure that if you have different ASINs of that same product, maybe it's slightly different across different marketplaces, make sure that you copy all of them. So after you're done, you just have to go ahead and click next. And then here you have to verify it about your distribution. So does your brand sell to distributors? You can say yes or no. And where your products are distributed. So this is optional. If you do indeed sell it, then you can select the countries. And does your brand license trademarks to other people to manufacture products? So you can say yes or no, because as you saw, that brand registry, part of it is to protect your brand. So if anyone tries to sell anything with your brand, they need to have license or being a distributor. So they just want to make sure. And once you're done, you just have to hit submit and then wait for it. And the process can vary. You can be approved within a week, or it can take a little bit longer, especially depending on the time of the year, and other things that might actually be delaying the process. You can always follow up. Maybe if it's taking more than a month, then you can follow up, see the status of your application, see if there's any issues, any extra information that you can provide to speed up the process. But that's it. This is how you get brand registered. And after that, you can enjoy all of the benefits. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, do not forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.